Hello, friends. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary. What did I do? On the days of Sunday, November 26th, Monday the 27th, Tuesday the 28th, and Wednesday the 29th of November of 2023. Well, on the 26th, which was the Feast of Christ the King, I was up at home visiting with my family, Sunday worship, time of rest with the family and meals, and visiting with my mom and my brother. That was good, and we were doing some tasks that had to be done around the house and things like that. I also, of course, had my traveling office with me, and I had to check in on different things. For example, I had to work on preparation of spots that are going to be taped when our pastoral team comes here in a couple of weeks, going through the material, getting it ready for them, preparing for that meeting, preparing for upcoming trips, preparing for upcoming broadcasts, putting together some tributes for our friend Chris Slattery, who unfortunately passed away just before Thanksgiving, preparation for the end of year essay that I write each year at this time of year, and finally preparation for the Good Shepherd Seminar. That's our online clergy training. That's coming up as well. But then, like I say, I was there with the family, and we had our Sunday meal. In the late afternoon, I was picked up and brought to Yonkers, just about 20 minutes away from my family's home, and attended the wake service. I attended the whole thing from 4 to 8 p.m. on Sunday the 26th in Yonkers. Mr. Chris Slattery of the Expectant Mother Care front lines in New York City has worked for so many years saving babies, and he's been a close collaborator of ours for really 3 decades. And so I was there with his family and also with just numerous pro-life people and activists, mostly from the New York, Westchester County area, but also some pro-life activists from other parts of the state and the country. And it was just such a consoling time for all of us, not only to be with Chris's family and to pray for him there, but to just encourage one another. Many, many, many great conversations. In fact, it was basically nonstop for those 4 hours that I was greeting people who, all of whom knew me, and many of us had worked together on various occasions or been at other events over the years. Once that wake was finished, was driven back up to my mom's house, and then it was time for bed. Monday the 27th, I was also there with my family, again, visiting with them, visiting with my mom, having meals there. Did some work on my computer. I had to touch base with my staff in the morning. I had to have several staff meetings in the morning after our main briefing. I had to meet with our receptionists over the upcoming Christmas card season and make sure everything was in place for them to deal with that. I had to put out various messages to different pro-life leaders, met with our social media team and so forth. On my computer, I had to work on our FOIA request, the Freedom of Information Act. You'll be hearing more about that if you haven't already. Our email blasts, getting some final preparations and approvals in place for those. Communication with certain candidates who are running for public office and who want my input, and trip plans for upcoming travels, all about which you will hear more. So I was there at home doing all these things, took my daily walk, and spent time with my mom. And then at 3:15 in the afternoon, I was picked up by a car that brought me to the local airport, White Plains Airport, just 10 minutes away. Took an evening flight back to Orlando. I was kind of tired on the plane, so I just rested and got back to my office at about 9:30 that night. Good to be back home. Tuesday the 28th, busy office day. Started out by doing some shopping and picked up some groceries and other things that I needed at 7 a.m. As soon as the local supermarket opens. Got back, had to do some various work at my desk, got ready for our staff briefing, which we have at 8:30. Some more work on the Freedom of Information Act request, approving some upcoming email blasts, some plans for media interviews in the coming day, and working with our team on various messages we want to communicate to our donors. Had various meetings with the staff, work at my desk. Had a meeting with our correspondents associate. She answers the inquiries from the public that some of you perhaps are also sending us, which we welcome. At 11:30, had a meeting with our resource manager and finance director. The resource manager and I are going out to Phoenix in a few weeks for the Turning Point USA conference. We had a meeting to prepare for that. Then at noon, I went with our executive director just down the street to Hobby Lobby, where we had to pick up some Christmas items and had lunch over there and some business meeting during the course of lunch. No, actually, we went to the store, we got the lunch, but we brought the lunch back here to the office, and we were in our cafe. A couple of other staff people came in, so we had a good working lunch. Back to my desk, working on the various things I already mentioned and getting ready then for a 3:00 meeting with pro-life leaders. What was that about? That was about the state initiatives that we are battling in various states where the pro-abortion people just want to kill more and more babies. And we had that meeting, last about an hour. And then from there, I came back into the studio here and taped my Praying for America program for that evening. And I went back to my desk, got lots more updates from staff and checked in with some as the day was brought to a close, and just did some quiet work at night before going to bed. And then on Wednesday, the 29th, I was here. Now in the morning, after my usual morning staff meetings, had some time at my desk to prepare for some important upcoming broadcasts. And let's see, after preparing for those broadcasts, also had to do a lot of preparation for the pastoral team December meeting, because we have more people than usual who come to headquarters, our staff who work in other cities, our priests and so forth. And so we were getting ready the details of that meeting. Then in the middle of the day on Wednesday the 29th, I did something with my staff, one of our favorite moments of the year, when we decorate our Christmas tree. Now we know it's Advent. We celebrate Advent heartily. We await the coming of the Lord, and the Christmas decorations are put up in order precisely to, as so many of you do, set the tone for the coming of the Lord and be the backdrop for the celebration of Advent, awaiting his coming. So we do that in that spirit. In the afternoon, I had, after we did our trim tree party and we asked God's blessing on the Christmas tree, I met with our executive director and our communications director about some work that we are doing together. That was a 2:00 meeting. 2:30, I had our taping of Praying for America, my program for Right Side Broadcasting. Then at 3:00, we had a meeting, of an administrative meeting in regard to some matters related to our pastoral team and plans for upcoming projects. That was at 3:00. Then at 3:30, I had an extensive phone call with Deacon Keith over there at the Tyler Diocese, and working with our friend Bishop Strickland, talked about that. Then at 4:00, had a call with our media firm, and we talked about making more inroads into the secular media. At 4:30, I had a meeting with one of our technology people. It was a little later than that. The meeting went with our media firm went until I think about 4:40. But then I met with one of the members of our technology team about an app that I use that reads books to me. Because I'm doing so much traveling, and because at the same time I have so much reading to do, I have an app on my phone that will, as I'm on a plane or driving, it will read a book to me. And this way here, it's not always a matter of using your eyes or having to have the book in your hands. At 5:30, I had an update meeting with Mark from our administrative team. Took my daily walk while having that update. Grabbed a quick something to eat, and then at 7:00, I had a 35-minute podcast. I was a guest on somebody's podcast, so we had that interview in the evening. That went very well. And then after that, did some just some quiet, restful type of work in my office, and got ready for bed. Those were the days from the 26th to the 29th of November, 2023. Hope your days are fruitful and blessed. Thanks for your support of our ministry. We'll always be open and transparent with you, and we will always be good stewards of the support that you give to us. God bless you.